A huge disastrous scene over here. A bridge that was blown apart. This is a city absolutely dead. Mariupol is maximum under Russian control.
Ukrainian military truck that was destroyed by our artillery.
State of affairs of the city, craters of the rocket attacks and missile attacks, shards of glasses. Viewers' discretion advised. Visited journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol. Geeta, Mohan for India Today. Hello and welcome. India Today is reporting from the epicenter of the war, including Mariupol. A city which was once bustling with over 1 million people, now lies in ruins amid war. In the next half hour, we'll take you through our reports, ground reports from Mariupol, beginning with a bridge that I saw blown up, vehicles burnt, and charred bodies lying in the streets unclaimed. Take a look. We are here on the way to Mariupol, a bridge that was blown apart by the Ukrainian side to ensure that the Russian side does not enter Mariupol. So a huge disastrous scene over here. We've seen many of these bridges that were blown up by the Ukrainian side to ensure that Russian advances are stopped. So another bridge over here. We are on our way to Mariupol, but this is what the scenes look like in terms of infrastructure that have been destroyed from the other side to ensure that Mariupol is not taken, a strategic city for both Ukraine and for Russia. Visiting journalist Satya Rautre on the way to Mariupol. Geeta, Mohan for India Today. Shelling, mortar attacks on the way to Mariupol, trucks that have been burnt. There are charred bodies, graphic visuals, so viewers' discretion over here advised. But certainly a very, very sad scene. Nobody to really come and claim the body or even take the body. No postmortems because Mariupol is under siege. So a difficult time for people over here, even in the bordering areas. This is a sensitive area, so we'll have to move quickly from here, given that there have been shellings and sniper attacks even in this area. With video journalist Satya Rautre on the way to Mariupol, Geeta, Mohan for India Today. Fierce fighting continues in the port city of Mariupol. My camera person Satya and I had a very close shave when a blast took off very close to the spot we were in, and then we rushed to safety. But that's the story of every civilian in Mariupol today. Uncertain future, not knowing what's going to hit them next. You, Mariupol, why? Kiev, Rus, why not?
Отойдите, отойдите, отойдите!
We had to take cover right now because the explosion was very close. Very, very close.
I'm from откуда вы?
Huh?
Откуда? Ага.
India Today, India.
Индия. Ого, откуда вас?
Okay, so Artyom over here actually asked us to take cover because now we see that the explosions are very, very close to this neighborhood. What is his opinion about?
Какое ваше мнение по поводу вот этой ситуации здесь, военной операции?
Это бред полный. Мы воюем против своих же братьев.
He said we're fighting against our brothers. It's very, very stupid, and he can't find the words for this.
Okay, and he intends to stay here, not leave?
То есть у вас намерение оставаться здесь, да?
Я буду уезжать в Киев. Лично я, да, родители будут уезжать в Россию.
His parents will leave to Russia and he'll leave to Kiev.
For Kiev, okay. Stay safe. Be good, Artyom. Stay safe. The stories from the city of Mariupol are heart-wrenching. People have not been able to leave their own city. It is a city under siege, and that's why those who have lost their loved ones have not been able to go to the graveyard. They've dug up places around their own neighborhood, in the parks, to give their own loved ones a decent burial. A city under siege where people have not been able to escape. Loss of lives innumerable. So much so that the heartbreaking story of graves being dug for their loved ones in the very same colony where they're living, just beside the building which houses them, people are now burying their loved ones. That's how difficult life here in Mariupol is for people who either decided to stay back or have not managed to flee the city of Mariupol. With duty journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Massive damage was caused due to attacks in Mariupol. Charred and burned down buildings beyond recognition and beyond repair. The scenes are of devastation and chaos. This is Mariupol, a city under siege, relentless firing, shelling and bombing. We can hear it through and through. Look at the state of affairs of the city. This is the fire station that has been destroyed in the shelling, in the bombing that took place over here. And the craters of the rocket attacks and missile attacks can be seen. That's the extent of damage. All the cars over here burnt. The buildings across, the windows absolutely shattered. Goes to show the kind and the extent of damage that the missile attacks and the rocket attacks have created over here. The magnitude speaks for itself with what you see behind me. Shattered glasses, broken buildings, destroyed cars. This is a city under siege. Russia wanted to claim the entire area, and it has done so. Now, Mariupol, most part of Mariupol is under Russian control, and to ensure it remains that way, that the firing that you hear is unending. People over here still are living, but only a few are left. Most of them have left the city or are trying to leave the city. There are humanitarian corridors on both sides, but that does not guarantee safety for the lives of people here in Mariupol. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Shattered windows, blown up buildings, no electricity, no water yet. People over here are staying with bare minimum. A lot of them have not left the city. We were speaking to a few saying that they do not have the wherewithal. If they don't have money, they don't have the banks working, how would they then leave their homes? Many others do not want to leave their homes. All they have is little kitchenettes that they've made outside and are cooking with wood fire. That's how bad the situation is. There are authorities who bring in water, deliver water from both sides, and then that water is delivered in these parts because they do not have water supply as well. Situation pretty bad over here for people, and if you see the people over here, most of them older lot who cannot leave the city, many who do not want to leave the city. The entire city of Mariupol, which once was a prosperous city, one that had a lot of economic and revenues, today stands absolutely in a shambles. We will be taking you through the city and through the ruins. This is a city that will take a long time to recover, to rebuild. With the journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Amid constant shelling, this is a city that is absolutely dead, destroyed, and the destruction that you see over here with the buildings and the missile attacks, the rocket attacks that this city of Mariupol has faced, no matter how strategic it is for Russia or for Ukraine, it is going to be very difficult to bring it back to its past glory. Mariupol was a very important city when it comes to being the land bridge between Crimea and Donetsk for Russia, and therefore a crucial city. But we've been told to be very careful. This is an absolutely burnt down building, but there are some other buildings that are still there, and there are fighters, gun battle that is underway in and around Mariupol. There are snipers as well, and this time around, it's sad that even press has not been spared. So the journalists over here also have to take extra precaution and be careful. The bombings continue, shellings continue, and a city that was once prosperous today is absolutely destroyed. Russia and Ukraine will have to do a lot more than just talks and negotiations. There's a lot of explaining as to why so many people have died when there could have been a way, a route through diplomacy. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. A lot of massive destruction. You can see Ukrainian trucks that were destroyed on the 16th of March, and the destruction continues. The buildings over here completely in a shambles, destroyed. The city is under siege, but this is a port city. It is a city that is crucial. It is one of the most important battles for Russia as well. Mariupol sits right between Crimea and Donetsk. If this is captured fully, this is one of the biggest wins for Putin. This will be one of the biggest wins for Putin if Mariupol is under Russian control. So we'll have to wait and see how this works out. For now, the stretch that we took, it seems like, has completely come under Russian control, but there still are forces on the Ukrainian side fighting to the finish to ensure that they regain control of this port city, which is absolutely critical and crucial given that it faces the Sea of Azov. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. The Russians have taken control. Russian and DPR, that's the Donetsk People's Republic flags flying everywhere across the Donetsk region, including where we were in Mariupol. But Ukrainians are fighting back. Ukrainian forces have placed sea mines across the city of Mariupol. These are naval mines, or what they call sea mines, that Ukrainian side has left in many parts of Mariupol. We try to ask as to why are sea mines here in Mariupol. There's no specific answer, but quite a few places you'd find these mines kept or placed. What the purpose is or what the Ukrainians were planning to do with them, still unknown. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. The people in Mariupol are suffering and struggling for basic amenities. I witnessed long queues of people outside empty shopping centres, now converted into humanitarian centres. All they want is what we take for granted: food, water and medicines. This is the biggest humanitarian crisis that the people of Mariupol are facing. A sea of humanity, sea of people over here outside the metro shopping center, which has now become an aid and humanitarian assistance center. Long queues of people waiting from 7 a.m. in the morning just to get basic food supplies. This entire area now is under Russian control, and that's why it's the Russian and the Donetsk agencies that are working over here to supply food and humanitarian aid to the people of Mariupol. Mariupol has a majority of population that are either Russian speaking or of Russian origin, and that's the reason why when we spoke to people over here, many women in tears, because they do not know where to go and how to go, where to find safety, is the reason why they're staying in their homes. They come here early in the morning to collect their assistance, their basic supplies, and then return home to feel a little safer than what we hear. We're hearing music, Russian national songs, but this is all amid bombardment, shelling and sounds of explosion. With video journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Сообщить ей, если она увидит, что мы живы и здоровы в Мариуполе находимся сейчас. Они улетели.
Russian, Mariupol!
что мы живы и здоровы. Я обращаюсь к своей дочери Важинской Оксане Викторовне. Пусть она слышит, что мы живы и здоровы в Мариуполе.
Они живы, они в Голландии. Это Европа, там
Это
люди.
все, что я хотела
Потом
сказать,
подонки,
если вдруг она...
западенцы, Западной Украины.
Так, перестань,
И Зеленский
Виталий.
создал войну, негодяй.
Виталий,
Правильно? Нужно только миром решать любой вопрос. Любой. Не бывает стрелять друг в друга, правильно? Надо уважать людей. От маленького до старика. И делиться. Господь нас не... Я говорю,
Можем найти с дочкой, мы поможем вам найти дочь. Да. Да.
Что мы живы и здоровы в Голландии.
Okay. They just want to find her daughter. She is now in Europe, in Holland. So she is a doctor of first aid. So they are very worried about their daughter. They want her to know that they are alive and they are okay now.
People, no connectivity, like I said. This lady over here is only asking and trying to send out a message to her daughter in Europe. Where in Europe? Where?
Здесь. Мы не знаем, она уехала из
Она
Киева.
спортсменка, конник.
Месяц назад она
А у нее муж?
беженцы.
А у нее муж
Спасибо вам большое.
этот, спортсмен,
Спасибо.
кино снимается. Он крокодер. Женя, фамилия.
Снится.
Понимаете, говорю, такие люди, говорю, мы просто простые люди.
Знаете номера телефонов дочери?
This is a set of parents who are desperate to reach out to their daughter somewhere in Europe. They do not know where, but they just want to say that they're alive, that for now they're safe, and that the daughters should know. Alexander over here has been doing the very same thing. He's been taking contacts and details because Mariupol does not really have connectivity. So he takes their photographs. You can see Alexander's taking photographs. Then he takes their numbers and he connects with family members outside of Mariupol.
Над головой. Разве можно такое терпеть? Я не оправдываю ни ту, ни другую сторону. Это воинские преступления. Ночью, нет голоса нет, ночью бомбить мирных людей. Это подлость. Самая настоящая. И ничем не оправдано. Продали страну без референдума. Мы виноваты. Нет. Я считаю, что это нужно отвечать. Не знаю. Я уже ни ООН, ни Гааги, никому не верю. Все продано.
Okay, she don't believe Gaga, don't believe OON. She claims that all of people could be in the safe place if it will be organized well. There's enough safe places for people here, but still they were at home in the night when shelling comes. So first time her house was burned, they stopped the fire, but in the second time it burned fully.
The situation in Mariupol was that of immense fear. People who want to stay back because they do not know where to go, and many others trying to flee the city. I spoke to a ground commander on the humanitarian corridor provided by both sides, the Ukrainian side and the Donetsk side. And this is what he had to say about safe passage to civilians. This is the city of Mariupol, where most parts of Mariupol are now under the control of Russian forces and forces of the Donetsk region. I'm being joined by Sergeant Yuri over here. Sir, if you could explain to us what really happened over here. This was under Ukrainian control. When did the Russian side take control?
Yeah, it's Ukrainian military truck that was destroyed by our artillery 16 March at night. Ukrainian soldiers drop the Vinnytsia and go to the Azovstal.
Right. So how much of the Mariupol area is now under Russian control?
At 60-70% of Mariupol now at control of military of Donetsk People Republic and Russian forces.
Also, Sergeant, there are a lot of civilian population who are still here. Do they want to leave? I spoke to a few. They said they're scared. They don't want to leave. They don't know which place is safe, which is not.
it's a difficult situation because many of these people have their house, they people here, but now they can
Leave? Can they leave?
can leave this city to the Volодарsk and next to Donetsk and Russia.
A city under siege. 2 days ago, President Zelensky admitted that there is no way to keep control of Mariupol. Today, Mariupol is maximum under Russian control. President Zelensky had wanted jets and tanks from the West, from NATO. But now, Russia put all its force to ensure that this critical city comes under their control. There were 4 lakh people when the entire operation from the Russian side began on the 24th of February, and now there are less than 1 lakh people. The state of affairs of people living, who continue to live in Mariupol, is absolutely in a very, very bad shape. Their life destroyed, and the city will take a long time to be rebuilt. With journalist Satya Rautre in Mariupol, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Fierce fighting is underway in Gorlovka, which is in the northern side of Donetsk. And Alex again over here, Alexander, Satya and Sasha are traveling with us. A very tough road, and we had to take a few detours because of security concerns. There's fighting on in some other roads. So Alex, being very careful, has been speaking with the military officials to ensure that we take a safe route. Alex, what's the situation in Gorlovka right now?
Gorlovka was under shelling previous day, and also we have information that today the shelling came to civilian areas. Gorlovka was under control of Donetsk People's Republic for 8 years from the beginning of a conflict, and during all of this time Ukrainians are shelling the civilian area in Gorlovka because their positions is very close to that city, and the city have strategical interests.
Right. The city has strategic interests. It's on the north of Donetsk, so a very critical area once again. Sasha is our man with the military contact, so we do not face any problems. There is an absolute need and necessity to have the right people with you to ensure that you have access to these areas. So we'll be reporting from Gorlovka in some time from now. A very difficult route and a detour that we've taken to ensure that we reach there safely. On the way to Gorlovka, Geeta Mohan for India Today. Amid massive shelling and bombardment over here, we found this tank, a Russian tank that was hit by the Ukrainian side. We are in one of the undisclosed locations where these tanks are being brought in. They will be repaired, is what officials and officers over here are saying, and then sent back to the front. So a massive damage being caused by both sides, the Ukrainian forces as also the Russian side, when it comes to the war that is underway between Russia and Ukraine. One such tank over here, but there are many that come for repair over here, and then once repaired, they send back to the front line. With video journalist Satya Rautre, on the way to Gorlovka, Geeta Mohan for India Today. That's all in this special edition from Mariupol. Stay tuned for all the world-exclusive news coverage from the war-ravaged area of Donbass.